At the end of the last video, we discussed a trade about Kenneth Faried to help out our rebounding problems because we are one of the worst rebounding teams in the league, and I don't think acquiring Faried would really sacrifice much on defense, and I think there's a chance he can make us better offensively given his ability to do things around the basket. Interesting nugget, that's a pun. The Nuggets have DeAndre Jordan, which is apparently a thing. Looking at our contract situation, we're actually doing pretty okay after this season with Noah's contract coming up. Here's the trade for you. Langston Galloway giving up on Dorian Finney-Smith and a second-round pick, all for Kenneth Faried. Galloway's an expiring contract, so it doesn't kill the Nuggets from a money standpoint. And there you go. It helps that Galloway is a 77 overall, and 2K loves that type of thing. As you see here, even with Faried, $58 million after this season, we're not really swamped for money, and we don't have any big contracts that we're going to have to commit to here. I mean, Tim Hardaway's got a player option, but I mean, he's not going to kill us on the books. Faried coming off the bench, but playing high 20s in minutes. There's a chance that could even move up higher as the season goes along. How's it going to go? How's it going to go against the Portland Trail Blazers? Well, if we're in the third quarter here, Faried's already in the game, and I said before I'd have to find ways for him to play next to our other big guys. There's an interesting little play for you. DeAndre Ayton spotting up from about 16 feet out, Faried rolling on the other side of the floor, and it actually resulted in an Ayton open shot, so that's a good thing. And there are a few little experimentation moments that I have with Kenneth Faried and DeAndre Ayton on the floor together because, you know, you got to figure these types of things out. Roll to the rim with Ayton, and here it looks like Mo Harkless, he was defending Faried, and Faried was standing in the corner. He just didn't roll all the way over. I mean, if the defense is not going to play how they should, then, well, we're not going to have any trouble anyway. CJ McCollum out-muscles Frank Ntilikina, and I believe we have another attempt with Faried. Yeah, we get Faried setting a screen for Hardaway here. So what's going to happen? Well, they switch it. And I actually try to go to Faried in the low post, get Ayton going on a cut, and the result is actually not bad. I would like to credit myself by saying that I told him to cut because there was a smaller guy switched onto him, but I wasn't thinking about that when I did it. But you see right now, even if there could be some potential spacing problems with Ayton and Faried on the floor, it doesn't seem to be a thing. It seems like they're playing well together, but it doesn't all go perfect. There are definitely a few moments where the spacing is kind of ugly. One of them being right here, you know, where I got it to Faried out at the corner and he can't shoot threes, and as a result, we just kind of get a washed possession, you know. If there was a guy who could shoot threes there, that would have been a great play. So that's just something that we're going to have to manage as it goes along. I'm sure there are going to be possessions like that where Faried just... his lack of a three-point shot hurts us a little bit, but I think it's been positive overall. And to close out the quarter, he gets a nice little pick and roll to the basket. So overall, I say Faried doing a good job next to DeAndre Ayton. And I wanted to play Faried next to Porzingis, but the stamina was getting kind of low, and Kyle O'Quinn's a good fit next to the Zinger anyway. So that works out for us. I don't remember what happens on this play whatsoever. All I know is Porzingis is now at the top of the key. That's totally wrong. Norman Powell's at the top of the key. Okay, we just missed a shot. You know what I appreciate? When the CPU plays good defense, because that's what I'm trying to make them do. And this Blazers game felt like an actual challenge, which I will gladly welcome, because, I mean, I've made it pretty well known that I'm going nuts with the sliders sometimes, trying to make them work, and Maybe I finally got it, like 3 years into this series, or however long it is. Anyway, Terrence Ferguson off ball, not open. I believe that's Tyreke Evans who was playing defense on him, so shout out to Tyreke. No double team on Porzingis. Yeah, okay. That's also a theme that has been constant throughout this. What if the simulation stats for Porzingis, because they're disappointing, makes it to where the CPU doesn't double team him because they don't think he's good enough? Now that would be super meta, and you know what? That's what I'm going to roll with, if I can remember that running joke for longer than this video. Anyway, another Porzingis post-up, because if it's working, why not go to it once again? Although all the guys around him are pretty decent shooters. DeAndre Ayton can hit mid-range and everybody else can hit threes. 6-point game. CJ McCollum, he's already scored once on us. Got Tim Hardaway off of him, and that's a good shot. And that's also the animation that I would use to cheese my career like 3 years ago. Because whenever that thing popped up, that means you could get an easy mid-range jumper to go in. So, if you ever feel like playing 2K16, then there's a little tip for you. Although you probably knew that one anyway. Porzingis, I'm going for the one-on-one. And that makes 2 games in a row now where he's gone for that layup on the left-hand side, and he's looked kind of silly from the result. Last video, the ball hit the bottom of the backboard, and this time, I don't know if he just simply missed, got his shot blocked or whatever, but clearly didn't go in. Thank you, CJ McCollum, for not making that free throw. The crowd is getting amped. I do not have a problem with this shot I took with Ntilikina. My dad would hate that shot, but you know what? I think we'll be okay anyway. Good three-point shooter open. Good defense by the Zinger. And I would think that I run something through Hardaway and Porzingis right now, because that's typically my go-to thing. Seems like we're going to go with some sort of an off-ball thing. Oh yeah, this play, every now and then this 71 punch play results in a switch. Didn't that time, and it typically doesn't. It would be cool to find more post-up plays that can potentially result in switches, but a lot of the time they just take up like 6 or 7 seconds on the shot clock just for your big guy to post up on the guy who was defending him anyway, so you might as well just call it regular post-up at that point. Anyway, we got a 1-point game. Now I'm running it through Hardaway, but we're doing the DeAndre Ayton screen, so now we really have shooters everywhere, and they didn't exactly bring help, but I believe it's Zach Collins who actually did a decent job defensively, but we have the ball back, and that's always a good thing. And, well, that went well, eventually. It eventually resulted in a 3-point lead. What are the Zingers? What am I talking about? What are the Blazers going to do out of a timeout? We have Damian Lillard standing at the top of the key. Looks like CJ McCollum's trying to get open. We stay with him there. Drew, that's not Drew, that's Justin Holiday, who just turned this thing into a tie game. I don't want to go to overtime, okay? I really don't. And I remembered that I should go kind of fast here so we can get a 2-for-1 opportunity, and it just so happens that we also made the shot in as well, so that's cool. Shout out to Kenneth Faried, who has no impact here, but I have to mention him because we just traded for him. I don't know if that makes any sense, but you know what? We're going to do it anyway. I think we do see Kenneth Faried one more time before this video ends, so that'll be cool. Good defense by Ntilikina, and then he's going to go to the free throw line where he gets like 20 more points over the span of like 10 seconds because they kept on fouling us. Anyway, we win the game. Kenneth Faried's debut goes well, and you'd think that they would interview like Porzingis, because I'm just going to assume that he had the best game because he always does with us. But no, they interview Kenneth Faried, so we see him one more time before the video's out. So that went well. Hopefully it goes well moving forward.